Good afternoon and welcome back to Huskins Field for Game 2 of the doubleheader between Tufts and Middlebury. I'm Bernie Birnbaum alongside Sebastian Gonzalez-Johnson. We'll be bringing you Game 2. Sebastian, you were covering Game 1. What did you see? Give us the story of that game.
Sure thing, Bernie. Game 1 was a pretty great game defensively. Both teams are pretty efficient with getting outs. For the Tufts, Jumbos just really struggled getting things going. For the Jumbos, Varinos was actually pitching a perfect game. A no-hitter until...
It was a perfect game.
It was a perfect game until the sixth inning, and obviously that didn't end up working out for them. But Jumbos just didn't really do that great of a job of, getting men on, and when they did have men in scoring position, they didn't really capitalize. So they're definitely looking to get the bats going in Game 2. And Bernie, this is actually your last broadcast as our general manager.
I'm aware.
So just wanted to say thank you for everything you've done for this club. And you're an awesome guy. And
I appreciate it. Well, wait till after this one. I could blow it all in these next 7 innings.
But this is actually our first game commentating together.
Oh, that's true.
Since I've joined, so this is pretty cool.
Well, I'm happy to do it. I mean, you've got the experience. You were on this team before, so you've got not only the knowledge of the game, but the knowledge of the team. So, we figured out the lineups for these last 2 games over a month ago, and I've had it penciled in. Looking forward to seeing how we work together. We've got well, let's start with the starting lineups. We're about to get underway. It's Tim Spurko pitching to start off for game number 2. For Middlebury, we've got the center fielder, Rizzo, due up first. And, that's the only time we have. First pitch, and that's taken outside for ball 1. Game 2's underway. Of course, Tuffs dropped the opener 4-0. Tuffs out-hit Middlebury 4-3.
Yeah.
1-0 pitch comes in low, ball 2.
And the score 4-0 doesn't really give you a great aspect of the game, as we discussed. Middlebury scored 3 runs in the top of the 7th inning, so it was a 1-run ball game all the way down to the wire.
So a pitch taken for the first strike of the ball game. Here's the 2-1, swung on. Up-time foul back over the bleachers. Fairly empty parking lot this afternoon. It's a Sunday, not a lot of university activities. Students, of course, in the midst of the finals period. So whereas we normally have a bit of a packed parking lot, low probability for balls hitting vehicles this afternoon.
Definitely.
2-2 pitch. Taken inside. Rizzo had to check himself there.
So in case you didn't tune into Game 1, it's actually senior day here at Huskins Field, and Tim Spurko, one of the leading seniors on this team, pitching for the Jumbos right now.
He induces the ground ball over to second, and that's played cleanly by Varinos. That would be the younger Varinos.
Elias Varinos, yep, and that's got to be pretty fun to play ball with your brother, I would say. So.
Of course, he didn't get in during the game. His brother was pitching. 1 Varinos per game is all we're going to get. So due up second here. That's going to be the shortstop, Carroll. Takes ball 1. And the early going, you were seeing Spurko struggling to find the strike zone. What do you make of that?
Yeah, Spurko's just got to get into his groove, get into his rhythm. Once he locks in and gets comfortable on the mound, he'll throw some more strikes for sure.
Well, he got the second pitch in there for a called strike 1. Now we got the 1-1 pitch on the way. High at eye level, 2-1.
As I was saying before, it's senior day, so we're honoring the Tufts baseball class of 2017. That includes senior captain Harry Brown, Oscar Cooch, Charlie McQuinn, Tom Petrie, Matt Rothstein, Tim Spurko, who's pitching now, Spiros Varinos, and Rory Zomek. So awesome bunch of guys there. Great leaders for this Jumbos team.
We saw just then after the fourth pitch of the at-bat came in to make the count 3-1, we saw Frickman get up and spat a little encouragement. 3-1 pitch swung on. That's a hitter's count, and Carroll really wanted to do something big with that. Spurko had him fooled, and Carroll swung over it. Very windy afternoon here. Full count for the second straight batter. Check swing, foul. We'll do it again. You know, I think early in game one you might have been saying, or maybe it was just me thinking, with this kind of wind we weren't going to see a lot of bombs. Of course, winning run ended up coming on a solo homer.
Yeah.
3-2 pitch foul back again.
Yeah, I mean, this wind is blowing hard and in right now, and like you said, it's going to be tough to really drive the ball if you hit it up. So we'll see how the hitters make their adjustments in this game.
Full count, taking low, ball 4, and Carroll's on board, the game's first base runner. Of course, it took 5 innings for a base runner in game 1. It wasn't until the 7th and final inning that a Middlebury base runner actually was positioned on a base, so to speak.
Yeah, and Verinos threw an excellent game.
So it's going to be the designated hitter lock up with a man on first and 1 away in the first. First pitch at the at-bat, taken for a strike. That's the first pitch strike we've seen from Spurko. Keeping an eye on the runner at first. Spurko sets. Pickoff attempt. He's in safe.
Spurko keeping the runner honest there over at first.
Comes to the plate. Calls strike 2. Spurko's ahead on a batter for the first time. He's 0-2. Oh-2 pitch. Swung, fouled straight back to the backstop. Staying alive is Locke.
These Middlebury hitters are being aggressive to start game 2. As we've discussed before, now that they won game 1.
This one's lined into center. Coming on Brown, he makes the catch. And we've got one away. That's actually Santos Ocampo playing in center. I'm so used to Harry Brown, but for game 2, final game of the season, things are getting changed up. So Santos Ocampo fields the line drive, 2 away.
The left fielder, number 30, Sam Graff.
Sam Graff now the designated hitter.
That's a ball high, as the count is now 1-0.
Oh, 1-0 pitch on the way now. Taking high 2-0. Had a little bit of bullpen work in the first game. Ian Kinney notably pitching most of the 9th inning and getting roughed up. So we'll see just how far they push Spurko. 2-0 pitch, taken, strike 1. Carroll, the runner at first, with a normal size lead. Being held on there by Foxon. 2-1 pitch, swung on, big swing. A little bit out ahead of it. So a 2-2 pitch now. Spurko can put it away, but he checks the runner before he does. Two-two pitch now, maybe this time for real. Comes to the plate, swung on, sent high in the air to center field. Santos Ocampo right under it, puts it away, and the inning is over. So on the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, one left on base. And, halfway through, we've got no score. So as we head to the bottom of the first, we look forward to the Jumbo's hitters. Elias Varinos will lead it off, followed by Tommy O'Hara, Nick Foxon, and in the cleanup spot, designated hitter on the game is Day. Santos Ocampo, McLaughlin, Kutch, Frickman, and Shackelford round out the lineup. And the pitcher for Middlebury this afternoon, that's number 3, Waters. Fortunately, don't have the numbers for you on Waters immediately, but we'll get there. So Waters, not one of the top pitchers for Middlebury. Colin Waters, the sophomore out of Basking Ridge, New Jersey. And defensively for Middlebury, from left to right, we've got Palekar. We've got at third Carroll, at short Hahn at second, Woodring at first. In the outfield from left to right, it's going to be Graff, Rizzo, and Elgerton, and the pitching catching battery is Bernstein catching Waters. Of course, it was Hahn who broke the ice in Game 1 with the solo homer that proved to be the winning run in the 5th.
Yeah, so Bernie, the Tufts Jumbo's hitters are looking to get it going early in this game. Get ahead and play with the lead rather than playing down the whole game, and see if they can get started.
Well, Elias Varinos will be the first one to get a crack at Waters. First pitch taken low and outside. Finally got the numbers up over here for Waters, by the way. This is his 6th start in the season. He's got a 2-2 record. And the second pitch taken for a strike. Waters has an ERA of 5.73 over the course of 33 innings pitched. Not the most impressive numbers we've seen. 1-1 now to Varinos, taken for a strike, and he'll probably want to get the bat off his shoulder at some point.
Definitely 1-2 count here. He's got to battle, protect, and put the ball in place.
And he's rung up without moving the bat off his shoulder. That's a strikeout looking to start off the day for the Tuffs bats. A good start for Waters. What do you make of that, Varinos not taking the bat off his shoulder?
It's a tough call. I mean, he's a leadoff hitter. He's trying to see some pitches, let his team get a little bit of feel for Waters. But like you said, with 2 strikes there, he's got to just battle.
So we got Tommy O'Hara now, no doubter. That one sails beyond the reach of even the catcher. So 1-0.
Pretty interesting seeing O'Hara bat in the 2 slot.
Yeah, has that happened yet this season? I don't think so. Not his typical spot in the order, that's for sure. 1-0, swung on, bounced into the dugout. 1-1. Swung on, foul back. O'Hara not shy about swinging. He'll take some big hacks. Behind in the count, O'Hara looks in. Fouls another one straight back, and looks like Waters is working the high part of the strike zone against O'Hara.
Yeah, and it looks like O'Hara's, O'Hara's pretty much got Waters timed up. He's just missing a little bit under the ball, but he's seeing Waters well. The ball's coming in, and he's getting a good feel for it.
And O'Hara steps off. Calls timeout, rather. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swung on. Grounded foul beyond the first baseline. And this is the kind of leadoff style at bat that we would have hoped to have seen from Varinos. This 2-1's grounded fair to the first baseman Woodring and flips it to his pitcher Waters for the 1-3 putout, 2 away. 3-1 putout.
Harrow stung that ball there, but it's put in a bad spot. Good play by the first baseman, number 25, for Middlebury.
What's going on here?
First baseman number 32, Nick Falks.
And now we're seeing Faulkson up to bat. Their 3-hole hitter, number 32, Faulkson, a junior. Transferred here from Brandeis. This is his second year as a Tufts Jumbo.
It's been 5 minutes. Is it actively streaming? So that's all that matters. Apologies for the faulty scoreboard we've got going now. We've got some of our software freezing up on us. We're only as good as the technology, so
Allows us to be, exactly.
we'll hopefully be dealing with that shortly. For now, we've got a 1-1 count on Faulkson. A lot of wind today. I can barely keep my scorecard in my hand. 1-1 pitch, taken for a strike. That looked like it might have been a little higher outside. Nonetheless.
One and 2 count here.
Faulkson gets under it, skies it over our heads back into the parking lot. If this issue persists, by the way, we may have to take down our broadcast briefly. 1-2 pitch, grounded over to third. Played cleanly across the first for the 5-3 putout, and the inning is over. So 1-2-3 inning for Water. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base. And through 1 inning, there's no score between Middlebury and Tuffs.
So Bernie's going to take a quick break from commentating, and he's going to try to take a look at the software, see what's going on here. It is the top of the 2nd inning. 0-0 ball game. Superco on the mound, warming up. The Jumbos will be, Superco will be facing Middlebury's 5, 6, 7 hitters. And Superco's been an integral part of this Tufts Jumbo's pitching staff since he came here to Tufts, as he's filled in that role as a starter, an efficient starter for Tufts.
I'm back. You weren't saying anything too nasty about me when I left, did you?
No.
Right.
Only good things.
Yeah, so we're going to try and push through this issue. Basically, our software right now is frozen as the first pitch comes in for a well, I missed it. I'm not sure what it was. But Han took the first pitch. Ball one. Strike one, rather. Grounds the second pitch down to third. Slung over to first. And quick 5-3 put out.
Nice strong throw over there by O'Hara.
The first baseman, number 25, Kevin Woodring.
And 25, Kevin Woodring is up. He's the one that had the bases clearing double in the top of the 7th inning in Game 1 to solidify the Middlebury win. He's looking to get going in this game.
Spurko ahead 0-1. Deals again. Taken low. Swing and a miss, or foul tip rather. It gets the count to 1-2. And Woodring takes high. Ball 2. Even count now. Swing and a miss, and Spurko's got himself a strikeout for the first batter of the second batter of the inning. That'll bring up third baseman Palekar. Raj Palekar will try and dirty up this clean inning so far for Spurko. Takes a look at ball 1, and there've been a lot of patient batters.
Got an ice truck that just arrived to the ball field.
Yeah, that might be another reason to take a little break later. 1-0, swung on, foul tipped. And I understand that our tech problems may have resolved themselves temporarily. We make no promises that it'll last. But hopefully the scoreboard should be accurate for you soon, as Palekar lines one on the ground just inside the third base line. Going to be a play at second. And he's out at second, trying to stretch a single into a double. So did not expect that to be so close of a play, but Palekar a little too ambitious there.
Yeah, that's a good play by McLaughlin out in left. Just came up firing and made a strong throw right through the cutoff's head and got the out at second, and he's fired up.
And who wouldn't be? That looked like an easy double for sure. When it hugs the line like that, starts to trail into foul territory. It's pretty rare that a fielder is able to track it down, but McLaughlin got there, and Jumbos get themselves 1-2-3 inning in the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, none left on base, and through 1.5 innings.
We will see the freshman designated hitter Day up to start this inning off. Catcher. Plays catcher for the Jumbos, DHing in this game.
Yeah, so this is actually one of the funkier lineups we've seen. A lot of players not playing in their typical positions, not batting in the same spot in the order. Some starting that we don't usually see starting. Now, obviously, this is the last game of the regular season with the playoff spots locked up for both these teams. So what do you make of that? Is it just, getting players some rest, trying some new things out, just having some fun?
Yeah, I mean, Tuffs head baseball coach John Casey, like he said, he might be just trying to get some of his at that time. You got to go with the players that are performing at the highest level, so he might just be trying to see which guys are hot right now. He knows which wave to ride come playoffs.
Waters, first pitch of the inning to Ryan Day, taking first strike. Oh, 1 pitch on the way. Day looks at that one, bounces on the plate. Corralled by Bernstein. Don't think we're going to see as brisk of a game as we got for game 1. 1-1 pitch, taken low. Game 1 was on pace to end in about an hour and a half before the 6th and 7th innings sort of wore on a little hours. Of course, we're playing 2 7-inning games today because Middlebury, despite being a NESCAC school, not a divisional opponent. And Day takes high, ball 3. So just 14 innings of baseball for you this afternoon.
Beautiful Sunday for baseball.
And after call strike 1, Day looks at 4 obvious balls. Waters missing high and low in that at bat. And Jumbos have their first base runner of game 2. That'll bring up Casey Santos Ocampo. Santos Ocampo playing center this afternoon, had that nice catch in the first. He's batting .312 on the season coming into the day. 9 extra base hits, 7 doubles, a triple, and a homer. Santos Ocampo often comes in as a pinch runner. He's known for his speed here, shows bunt, takes strike 1. Of course, with the backup catcher as your lead runner, I'm not sure they're going to be able to take advantage of the speed that Santos Ocampo has.
Yeah, you make a good point there. You might see Santos Ocampo looking to put a bunt down. Maybe not.
Well, he's behind 0-2, so he's got to imagine this is not a bunting situation.
He's got to battle here, protect with 2 strikes, choke up a little bit, and just put the ball in play here.
Checks Day at first. Day is not going anywhere. 0-2 pitch. Taken, must have been outside. Can be hard to tell from here, but 1-2 as Santos Ocampo looks to battle back. No out, man on first. 1-2 pitch, runner going. Santos Ocampo lines it fair into right field. Day's going to go first to third. Santos Ocampo holds up at first, and the hit and run works out successfully. Makes Coach Casey look like a brilliant manager there.
And that's just a good piece of 2-strike hitting by Casey Santos Ocampo, CSO as they call him. Just, that pitch is away from him. He just threw his hands and just hit it where it was pitched. Good hitting there.
And so significant offensive threat here. First and third, no out. On the bottom of the second, that brings up Mike McLaughlin. And for McLaughlin, who's batting .320 on the season, he's got 2 homers and 11 among his 32 hits. So real tough situation now for Waters. 9 Day. 1 pitch to each base so far, except second. Not really much of a reason to throw it there at the moment. Maybe we'll finally get a pitch to the batter. Here's the pitch. Taken high, ball 1.
And with runners in scoring position here, this is the type of start that the Jumbos were looking for. So let's see if McLaughlin can pick up his teammates here and get a run in. Take a sac fly. A lot of options here.
Big hack by McLaughlin. Evens count at 1-1.
Santos Ocampo's got speed over there. We'll see if he's looking to be aggressive.
He sure is getting his uniform dirty. He's diving back into first base. And again. And the ball gets away. Day is going to go and score for the game's first run. Santos Ocampo over to second. And McLaughlin just has to step back and let the game's first run come to him. So that'll go down as an error. No doubt a throwing error on Waters. And Tuffs is up 1-0. Still no out. Man on first now. McLaughlin still is a runner in scoring position. Taken well outside, and Waters is going to need to settle down.
McLaughlin's ahead in the count here, 2-1. Looking for a pitch that he can drive here.
They're holding Santos Ocampo tight at second. Here's the 2-1 pitch taken outside.
And that's why Santos Ocampo is dangerous out there. He's not only is he a good hitter, but he's got speed on the bases, and pitchers definitely worry about him when he's out on the base path. So he's doing a good job.
Three-one pitch. McLaughlin squares it up, just gets a tiny little piece of it. So full count now. Waters still hasn't retired a batter. 1 run in already. Another one waiting out at second if McLaughlin can do anything about it. Here's 3-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled back into the parking lot. Wind continues to blow, the flag out in left field. Makes it seem like the wind is coming in. Going to be hard to get anything in the air to go for a hit. And McLaughlin is rung up. Second strikeout looking for Waters. He was about a third of the way down the first baseline. He thought he had a free pass. So 1 away now. Oscar Kuch playing right field today for the Jumbos will come up to bat. He's one of the graduating seniors who may very well be playing in his last game at Huskins Field. .353 batting average, on base .450. Really knows how to get on base. Grounds this one, first pitch over to first. Woodring will take it himself. Santos Ocampo moves to third on the fielder's choice. And so Frickman now, the catcher for Tuffs. 2 outs and a man on third. And Waters has a chance to get out of a sticky situation not having given up an RBI hit. Frickman takes strike 1. In fact, if Waters hadn't been so concerned about Santos Ocampo at first, we very well could have seen a scoreless frame.
Yep.
Taken outside.
It's a good eye there by Frickman.
And with the wind gusting, got to think that's having some kind of impact on the ability of Waters to locate. It's only 60 feet 6 inches, but as he takes low, checks his swing, freezes it there for all to see without breaking the plane. 2-1 pitch. Any kind of hit will bring home a run. And Frickman's tired of waiting, calls timeout. Here's a 2-1. Taken for a strike. We're not seeing a lot of aggression by Tuffs batters. I'm saying called strike, taken for a ball. Those are phrases I've said more than anything else. Middlebury dug out, very excited by the train going by. 2-2 pitch, taken in the dirt. All afternoon we've heard the train rumble by, and it's been accompanied by some cheers from the left side of the field. I'm not sure if they have trains in Vermont, so full count now. Taken strike 3 call. 3 strikeouts looking for Waters, and in the bottom of the second, 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on base. And it was the Waters throwing error on the pickoff attempt that led to the game's only run so far. 3 called strikeouts. That's impressive. I'm not sure if it says more about Waters' ability or the umpire or the attitude of the Tuffs hitters.
Well, I mean, they're definitely being patient, as you said. They're definitely trying to see pitches. But likewise, they're getting pretty good pitches to hit and not really taking advantage of that. Definitely, these Tuffs hitters are looking to hit the fastball, so I'm sure we'll see throughout this game that adjustment will be made. But yeah, like you said, good start to getting a run in the first, but need to be a little more aggressive.
Yeah, it only took 9 innings, but we finally got a run across for Tuffs, one of the leading scoring offenses in the country, so quite impressive that the Panthers.
Superco will be facing the 8-9-1 hitters from Middlebury.
Yeah, that'll be Elgerton, Bernstein, and Rizzo.
Leading off for Middlebury in the top of the 3rd inning, the right fielder, number 35, Grant Elgarden.
And what can I tell you about Grant Elgarden? I can tell you he's a freshman batting .286 and 50 plate appearances. Coming into the day, does have a homer. He can hit for some power. Took strike 1 from Superco. A 1 pitch taken low. One pitch. That one's taken, and Frickman will have to wipe a little of the dirt off before he sends it back to Superco.
Superco with the pitch.
That one's foul tipped, and it'll be a 2-2 count coming up. Of course, both these teams have locked up a spot in next weekend's NESCAC championship. 2-2 pitch on the way, felt straight back. Right on top of that one was Elgarden. And can tell that Middlebury and Amherst tied on the regular season for the top spot in the NESCAC West. But if I'm not mistaken, Middlebury owns a tiebreaker. Might be mistaken, though. Been mistaken before. We'll check on that one for you.
Well, with their first win this afternoon, that advances Middlebury to 9-4 in their conference.
Grounded to short, coming across the field. High throw to first, and the runner's going to be safe. The Shackelford just ranging all the way to his left to get that one. Couldn't get a clean throw across to Foxon, and that'll go down as an error. So Elgarden reaches on the E6, bringing up Bernstein. Phil Bernstein, catcher. He comes in batting .262. Only 3 extra base hits.
Superco's looking to keep the ball down here, force a ground ball, and hopefully get a double play.
Yeah, you'd think this is a pretty situation. You can't talk enough about the wind here. Anything in the air is going to hang up in all likelihood for an easy out. So batter's going to be trying to keep the ball down, and here in a double play situation. So with a 1-1 count now. And Bernstein, well, I can't say for sure. He's a catcher, so can't imagine he's got the best speed out there. Double play remains a possibility. Elgarden checked at first. 1-1 pitch, bounced foul to the third base coach. Fields it on a hop. The Panthers bench has been having a fine afternoon. They're in jovial spirits. These games are essentially meaningless. They're cross division, equivalent of interleague play here. So don't count towards the divisional records. Both these teams have playoff spots locked up, and 1-2 pitch taken low and inside. And why not have some fun? Runner going, swung on, line in the left, and can't play it on a bounce. McLaughlin gets behind him, and this is going to be bad news for Tuffs. Runner, Elgarden's coming around to score. Bernstein holds up in second, and he pulls in there with an RBI double.
Yeah, tough play out there from McLaughlin in left. That ball was hit very hard, but it was sinking on him. And it's a tough in-between hop there. He really tried to keep his body in front of it, but just got under his glove there.
That's actually going to go down as an error on McLaughlin. It's a little harsh, but I guess if he keeps it in front of him, it's probably going to be a hit and then an error to get him to second. So bunting on the first pitch, and the wind blows that one foul. You could see even on the little bunt, you could see that one move in the air. So Rizzo trying to move the runner over from second. Of course, Rizzo batting .308. The leadoff hitter, a senior. Takes high, ball one. So tie, sloppy ball game, 3 errors total, and with no outs here in the top of the third. Middlebury Panthers continue to make a racket from the dugout. This one's shot to shortstop rather, over to Frickman. Foxen for the out. That moves the runner, Bernstein, over to third. Productive out.
So far in this game, we've seen both teams a little less sharp on defense to start this game.
Brooks Carroll, who walked in the first inning, comes up for the second time today with a runner on third and an out. Skies this one. That's going to be in shallow left field. Shackelford's calling off everybody and battles the wind to make the catch. So quick out, and Spurko has a chance to work out of this one, having given up just one run.
The designated hitter, number 27, Jason Locke.
Jason Locke, senior from Middlebury, flied out to center. His first time up, batting .387 coming into the day. Takes first pitch for a ball, low. Bernstein, the catcher, running at third, but gotta think any base hit's gonna get him home. 2-0 now after the second pitch taken low.
Superco looking to battle back from this being down 2-0 in the count and get out of this inning.
That's taken for ball 3 inside, and 3-0 count. And with Sam Graff due up next, 327 hitter. You know, you got a couple bases open, but it's not like, you know, the batter looming on deck is a much easier assignment. But called strike 1. I thought that was going to be high ball 4. Spurko gets the call. And the wind, continue to mention it, but it's really affecting us. 3-1 taken in the dirt. Ball 4 issued to Jason Locke. First and third now. Sam Graff, who we mentioned, batting .327, flew out to center to end the first. He's got a chance to get himself some ribeye steaks now, first and third. 2 out.
Ribeye steak sounds delicious.
Yeah, well, the thing with these double headers is not a lot of opportunity for food
In between
first,
games.
Yeah, first pitch fouled back into the parking lot. I know, have myself a couple eggs, some sausages for breakfast, but I haven't had not a bit since, and we're now pushing 3:45 in the afternoon. Oh, 1 pitch on the way to Graff.
Spurko throws over to first. Keep the runner close at 27, Locke.
So I just want to prepare you. Between innings, I want to hear your thoughts on the upcoming NESCAC Championship. So get ready for that. Well, 1 pitch taken in the dirt. Both pitchers struggling to locate, and we're getting a lot of deep counts. I think tiebreaker is going to be determined by head-to-head results. This 1-1 foul back out of play. And Middlebury did win 2 out of 3 against Amherst earlier in April. So they'll be the #1 seed. And basically, as it shakes out, it'll be Tuffs against Amherst in game 1, Middlebury against Bates in their first game. Spurko checks the runner at first, and basically from there it's a true double elimination format. If you're familiar with the World Baseball Classic, it looks a lot like that. The difference being, first of all, it takes place in just 3 days. Grounded to third, O'Hara gets it over to Foxon, and that'll do it. In the inning for Middlebury, it's going to be 1 run on 1 hit. 2 errors and 2 left. So tie game now, heading to the bottom of the third, and so the stage set. What do you make for the upcoming NESCAC Championship? You know, Tuffs won the NESCAC East with their sweep of Bates last weekend. What do you think of their chances, and what do you think of Middlebury's chances? We got the 2 pennant winners here in front of us.
Definitely so. You know, this first game, Tufts Amherst, there's going to be a little bit of bad blood, I would say. There's always been sort of a rivalry between the 2 teams. You know, both excellent programs, best, so that's going to be a great ball game. We're expecting to see Verino starting that one, which puts Tufts at a great opportunity to win. As far as the Bates Middlebury series or game, that's going to be another very competitive game. You know, Bates is a team that people might not be expecting to have a good NESCAC run. You know, there's only 7-5, second in the East behind Tuffs, but before Tuffs' sweep of them last weekend, they were leading the East in NESCAC play. So it's going to be a very competitive NESCAC championship series. And hopefully Tuffs, we can win our second NESCAC in a row.
Yeah, last season was the best on record so far for Tuffs, and been following it up pretty well. Of course, the Jumbos so far have pretty good record, especially within the division. Of course, overall they're 25-8-1. That one being a tie against MIT called for darkness. 9-3 in the conference though, and currently ranked 11th in the nation, but we're as high as 7th. I think is the highest they got.
Yep.
So getting some national attention as well. Anyway, bottom of the third underway. Shackelford takes ball one. Strike one, rather. So next weekend, the entire tournament will take place at Colby, despite Colby not being a participant. 0-1, taken low and outside by Shackelford. Game one will be Bates against Middlebury, scheduled first pitch at 3 p.m. and Tuffs and Amherst to follow at 7. And then, yeah, from there, double elimination. So you're not out until you've lost twice. And I think it takes, what, 3 wins for a championship? Does that sound about right?
Believe so. Believe so.
It's a 2-1 pitch. Lined into center. That's got the center fielder going back, but he's there. Makes the play. One away.
Pretty good stroke there by Shackelford. Of course, the wind holding that ball up there, but hard line drive. Nice piece of hitting.
Yeah, not really too much of a challenge for Rizzo out in center. Started back, only had to go about 4 or 5 steps, and like you said, it's all about the wind. On a day with some still air, that one could maybe even be hitting the base of the wall. Elias Farinos up now, struck out looking to start the game. His second appearance.
Freshman, younger brother of Tufts ace Spiros Farinos, and Elias is considered a hybrid player. He's not only a middle infielder, but he's also a pitcher when needed, so pretty talented kid.
Yeah, this is the first I've seen him playing in the field. I've seen him in relief on multiple occasions. Takes at eye level, works the count to 3-0. We have not seen him swing the bat yet today, but I doubt this is going to be the first time on 3-0.
3-0 count.
It's just the 21st at bat of the season for Elias Farinos. He takes strike one. That's a good take. Won't argue with me there. Batting .211 on the season. He's got 2 extra base hits, a double and a triple. So I guess the hybrid pitcher's got legs. 3-1. And that's in the dirt in the left-handed batter's box. Farinos on base, and we'll get a chance to see what he's about. He has stolen 1 base already in this season. Tommy O'Hara in his interesting role in the number 2 spot. Comes up now with a man on base and 1 out.
Interestingly enough, I like Tommy O'Hara in the 2 spot in this game. You know, he's a guy that drives the ball, and he drives in runs. So if Tufts can get their leadoff guy on, you can definitely count on O'Hara to give you a good chance of scoring runs. So,
well, what's exciting about O'Hara, he may have grounded out to first in the first inning, but for the season, he usually gets on base. He's got an on-base percentage of .510, batting .346.
yep.
Not too many players you can say that about.
Big hitter like this, powerful lefty in the core of your lineup. He does get a lot of walks.
That one's lined fair over the first base line. Varinos digging for third. O'Hara heading to second. Now Varinos being waved home. The throw is not going to be even close to in time, and the Jumbos retake the lead. An RBI double by Tommy O'Hara.
Good job by Elias there, getting around the bases, getting on his horse. And like we said, O'Hara coming up clutch with the big hit.
Not more than a couple inches to spare inside the first base bag. Basically the same spot that turned into a ground out in the first, but inching it ever so slightly closer to the line. And even though with the runner on base, Woodring was holding the runner on, could actually not get back to the line in time. So first pitch, lined out, but thrown away, and that'll actually move O'Hara to third. It was Foxon who took a hack at the first pitch. Palekar was right there, didn't even have to move, tried to catch O'Hara off of second for a double play, instead threw it away.
And heads up base running there by O'Hara, seeing the ball get out, scoop by him in the outfield, taking off for third.
So that'll bring up Ryan Day, the freshman catcher. He's batting an even .333 on the season. First pitch taken for a strike. O'Hara with a reasonable lead off third. Grounded through the pitcher and not quite through the hole. Up and with it is the shortstop, but not enough time. That's going to be an infield RBI single for Ryan Day. You see that? Did that get a piece of Waters on the way? Did you catch that?
I did not.
Well,
I think it did not. I don't think it hit Waters, but it's a perfectly placed ball in the middle. Might have taken a little weird bounce off the mound.
It's a good effort by Carroll just to get to it and not let it go all the way through to center. But throw came over to first a couple seconds too late. Jumbos have a 3-1 lead. Santos Ocampo takes high and outside. Now he's got a runner on first and 2 out. In the first inning, he singled to right. Eventually ended up on third before being stranded there. But perhaps his most significant contribution so far was not really anything he did with the bat so much as his reputation with the speed that he's known to have. The pitcher is trying to check him at first and threw it away. Runner going now. Santos Ocampo fouls it off. Day will have to make the return trip.
And the hit and run was on that play.
Seeing a lot of that this afternoon from both managers.
Two teams have very solid defensive units. Catchers with pretty strong arms. Just trying to get their runners going, just trying to get anything going.
After the hit and run, the runner gets checked. Ryan Day has not attempted a stolen base yet this season, but perhaps the season finale is when we get to see the backup catcher. Anyway, Santos Ocampo skies one, deep right field, playable and caught for the third out of the inning by Elgarden. It's another one of those on a less windy day. Could have been a little bit more exciting, but nonetheless, a big inning for Tuffs. 2 runs on 2 hits. There was and a runner left. So that leaves us at 3-1, Tuffs lead through 3. So it'll be 5, 6, 7, Hahn, Woodring, and Palekar for Middlebury, due up in the top of the 4th. We'll mention here at JumboCast, we appreciate interaction with our fans. You can tweet using the handle at Tufts JumboCast, or just hashtag it. Most tend to use the handle, and that's fine. And we'll take a look at the Twitter action and respond to some of the tweets as the game goes on. I will say, I don't want to go fishing too hardcore, but this is my last ever JumboCast after a 4-year career. So if you want to, I'm not. I don't want to be explicitly asking for compliments or well wishes, but if that could perhaps be in order, you be the judge. Anyway, after a quick inning break, we've got Hahn. He takes a look at the first pitch for a strike. Spurko now, second time he's come up pitching with a lead. Didn't work out so well for him in the third. He gave the lead right back. Hahn takes low for ball one. I was going to put on my sweater in between innings. I didn't get the chance. I'm going to have to tough out another half. Got all kinds of goosebumps going on right now. Hahn skies this one to right. That's up off the base of the wall. Fielded and brought in by Kuch, and a double. Now that one's definitely gone.
Same guy as the first game. Hahn again, just hitting the ball to the right side, and almost got a second homer in this game as it hit the wall.
First baseman, number 25, Kevin Woodring.
Woodring here coming up. He struck out in the second.
Woodring had the 3 RBIs in the first game in the top of the 7th. Bases clearing double.
He's a big dude, let me tell you. I don't have the program in front of me. I don't know exactly how tall he stands, but for a freshman infielder, he's got quite the frame. Big swing and a miss, 1-1.
Yeah, Kevin Woodring. He's a freshman infielder, 6'3", 275 from Norwalk, Connecticut.
There you have it.
Definitely a presence in the batter's box.
Yeah, not a lot of space for dirt. Pitch in the dirt. Runner's going to go down to third. He's out by a mile. Frickman fielded that one cleanly. I'm not exactly sure why Hahn was so confident in going. He made the split-second decision to try and go on the ball in the dirt. Never got by Frickman. Got the throw down. He was out by a mile.
Clean throw, clean tag. Bang, bang, baseball.
So a little bit of the pressure off for Spurko, who now works, induces a grounder to short. Shackelford over to Frickman for the 6-3 put out. And quickly 2 away, and what started off as a scary inning is suddenly 2 out, no men on.
Tuffs trying to maintain this 2-run lead.
Palakar comes up now. He had a single to left in the second. He was guilty of a throwing error in the third. Big swing and a miss way out in front. Oh, 1 popped high. That's probably going foul into the dugout, and no chance for Kuch over there. He's actually in the right spot, but there's the fence that sort of divides the bullpen from, not the bullpen, and it ended up hitting the fence over there. So
yeah, as you saw, Kuch was making a run towards that ball, but he had to be aware of that fence.
0-2 pitch now. Spurko looking for 3 up, 3 down. One, 2 on the way. Popped foul into the parking lot. No cars in sight.
Oh.
Did catch one on the bounce?
Windshield. Got one.
Middle infield playing a little deep on the 1-2. Taken outside.
Decent change there by Spurko.
Here's the 2-2. Swung on, fouled straight back. And we see after every foul ball is some of the players, I'm assuming freshmen, are sent to retrieve them. They get quite the workout. Is that right? That it's typically freshmen?
No, it's really all the team. Just
2-2. And that's a fair ball down the third base line. Pelekar digging for second. Thinks better of it.
That time after last at bat.
And he's smiling with his first base coach there. I think had the inning been turned out differently to this point, he might have gone for it, but not going to be fooled twice. That one barely inside the line. We've seen a lot of line-to-line action past inning and a half, counting on the good vision of our umpire behind home plate. That brings up Elgarden. Elgarden reached on an error to shortstop, came around to score in the third. Spurko checks Pelekar. Pelekar has 2 stolen bases on the season. A 1 pitch on the way, taken for a called strike, and Spurko's ahead 0-2. On the way, that's pitch. A tough take. Taken for ball 1, but damn.
Close pitch. You could see Spurko, both Spurko and Frickman, the catcher, wanted that pitch. That call did not get it.
Here's the 1-2, or not quite. That one's sent over to first. Pelekar's in standing. Something I actually don't quite recall if this was something y'all were discussing on the air, if it was something we were talking about with the cameraman. Just a 1-2 pitch that's screamed foul. Almost exceeds the bounds of Huskins Field over here. Is that we observed there wasn't a lot of catcher framing going on for either catcher. You know, what I think Andrew and Brad were saying is maybe that's just not a part of the D3 game. Runner checked again. What do you make of that?
I mean, I would say as a catcher, no matter what, you're trying to make your pitcher look as good as possible. You're trying to make every
1-2 swung on and missed to end the inning.
Make every pitch look pretty if you can. However, D3 umpires, they're less likely to call a pitch that is seemingly out. So
anyway, that was just an interesting point. Top of the fourth, had no runs for Middlebury on 2 hits, no errors. There was 1 man left. Halfway through the 7-inning affair, Tuffs is leading 3-1, and I'm going to go ahead and put on that sweater.
I do not blame you there. It is mid-4th. We are in the bottom of the 4th inning. Tuffs up 3-1. Both teams with 3 hits and 2 errors on the ball game. Again, this is a 7-inning game.
Do want to acknowledge some of the Twitter action we have gotten. Not a lot of time now to address it to the fullest extent, since it took me a couple seconds there to get on my warmer clothing. But we've got 3 tweets. First coming in from at Rich Birnbaum, saying, enjoying Bernie's last call. Well, thanks, Dad. Glad you are enjoying. My parents have been with me the whole way, not just the 4 years here at Tuffs, not just for my JumboCasting, but for nearly 22 years of my life so far.
Definitely.
And second tweet we got from Alec Whipple, who's actually directing this game. Not sure how he has time to be tweeting when he's working the keyboard as he is. He says, hi, Bernie, the Mets lost 7-0. Well, they sure did. That'll happen when you suspend your nominally ace pitcher for 3 games for breaking team rules. Anyway, we're back underway here at Huskins Field, and first pitch swung on and fouled back by McLaughlin. McLaughlin struck looking in the second. He was not the only one. Taking a big hack on the first pitch, and the second one as well. He's behind 0-2, but getting that bat off his shoulder. And what?
0-2 count here on McLaughlin.
Good take. 1-2 count. One, two on the way. Bounced in front of the plate, 2-2. You can see in the outfield, they seem to be playing particularly shallow, especially against a hitter like McLaughlin. Got to think that's got to do with the wind, which has momentarily died down. 2-2 pitch. That's golfed in a shallow right for a single. Just reached out. He was behind on the pitch, managed to slow up and just shoot it over the second baseman and into right field for a single.
Yeah, and that swing was strictly hands. Mike, like you said, McLaughlin just getting the bat out there and just throwing his hands at the ball, and it worked out for him.
Yeah, fine piece of hitting on the 2-2 pitch. That brings up Oscar Cooch, who grounded to first in the second. We'll see how Waters works with the runner. His issues in the second and third really came about once runners were already on base. He had the 1-2-3 first. We see Plekar is in from third. He's on the grass. Waters checks the runner. Nice that he still has the confidence to do that after throwing it away earlier in the game. Here's the pitch. Fouled back out of play.
Yeah, I mean, as base runners, you're trying to get in the pitcher's head. So Waters, continuing to throw over there, keep the runners close, shows that he's still locked in and ready to go.
1-1 pitch on the way. Swung on, grounded to second, not fielded cleanly, and there's no play. Both runners are safe. Hahn had it in his glove, had it bounce off, realized he couldn't get it to second, tried to pick it up. By the time he did that, couldn't get it to first either, and the runners are aboard. First and second, no out. Some real trouble now for Waters. That'll be an error, of course.
Catcher Frickman up to bat. No outs. We'll see if maybe a hit and run is in play or a bunt's in play as they're trying to extend this lead here.
Well, Frickman got himself caught stealing in the top of the inning. That one dove out of the strike zone. Ball one. Hard to tell from here. We're basically perpendicular to the plate, but it looks like that one took a right turn, a left turn rather, and curved its way out of the strike zone. 0-1 on the way. Grounded to shortstop, right through his legs. And we got the bases loaded now, no out. And the Middlebury defense is not looking so hot. Now, I will say, not that it's a great excuse, but Carroll had been covering tight on second and had only barely gotten back to field his position, but it still went right through his legs.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. He was. It looked like they had a pickoff play on as the bag looking for a back pick, and like you said, he was out of position, didn't have his feet set to make the play.
So that'll bring up Shackelford, the number 9 hitter, with the bases loaded and no out. Shackelford flew out to center to lead off the 3rd inning. And Jumbos have a chance to break this one wide open here. First pitch taken high for ball 1.
The corners are in for the Middlebury defense. And middle infield back as they're looking to turn to double play.
Just a 3-1 ball game now, but that could change in a real hurry. 1-0 to Shackelford, taken high at about chin level. Tuffs probably not feeling too great after getting shut out in game 1. They'll be wanting to pour it on all afternoon. The last chance the seniors will have in all likelihood to do so in front of a home crowd. Shackelford takes ball 3, not even close. And Waters at real risk of walking in a run right here. He's going to really have to bring that ball down. Corners in, 3-0 pitch. Taken for a strike. Wasn't the most gimme of ball 3-0 strikes I've seen. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Shackelford looks at it low, and that'll walk in a run.
And the sun's finally peeking out. Providing us with a little bit of warmth here.
RBI walk for Shackelford. It'll bring the lead to 4-1 for Tuffs. That'll bring Coach out to talk to Waters. He hasn't taken the ball, so this is going to be strategy more than anything else. Still bases loaded, still no out, and now we're at the top of the order with Elias Varinos, Tommy O'Hara, and Nick Foxen due up. Varinos struck out looking in the first, walked and scored in the 3rd. He's got a chance for some RBIs here.
The second baseman, number 12, Elias Varinos.
Varinos has not yet hit a home run in his collegiate career. I only mention that because of the Grand Slam opportunity. No doubt folks at home want to know exactly what their chances are of seeing the Grand Salami. 0-1 pitch bounced in the dirt, and all the runners will advance, and well, no Grand Salami for Varinos. Cooch comes home to score the 2nd run of the inning. And now we've got 2nd and 3rd no out for Varinos.
Varinos here just looking to put the ball in play and most likely will score a run. If he can find a way to get the ball through on the right side, both runs will score.
Yeah, things fall for Middlebury now. A 2nd consecutive pitch in the dirt, and after walking Shackelford on some very high pitches, a lot of grounders coming into Varinos. And this is all with Tommy O'Hara looming on deck. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, bounced foul. That's first time we've seen Varinos swing in this game, in his 3rd appearance. Is that correct? Not the most aggressive hitter.
Well, you know, as a leadoff guy, he's trying to take some pitches, but hopefully he'll get a pitch to hit in this at-bat and we can score some more runs.
Here's the 2-1. That looked like a pitch to hit, taken for a strike. Came in about belt high.
Might have been fooled by the changeup there. That's a pretty good pitch by Waters. Let's see what he goes with here. 2-2. He's got a ball to work with.
That takes a big swing on top of a ball in the dirt. Strikeouts completed in dramatic fashion. The 2-3 putout. And that'll be the first out of the inning.
The third baseman, number 24, Tommy O'Hara.
One of the closer drop third strikes and definitely higher stakes too, with the runners looming at second and third.
Definitely so.
And not the most difficult of plays, but I got to give Bernstein credit for keeping his cool and getting that throw down to first cleanly. That'll bring up Tommy O'Hara, who had the RBI double in the second after grounding out to, in the third rather, grounded out to first in the first. Takes one in the dirt. With the RBI double, Tommy O'Hara moved into the team lead for RBIs. He had been tied with Nick Foxon at 34. Can add to that lead in this at-bat. Time called. Waters looks in, trying to limit the damage here. Pick play, thrown into center field. That'll bring home another run. It's the second time Waters is giving up a run trying to catch a runner. And I don't have too many words to say about that. That's just unfortunate and sloppy for the Middlebury pitcher. Tuffs now leads 6-1.
Tuffs Jumbo's doing a great job of jumping on him early this game and continuing to push the pressure.
It's you know, 2 runs scoring on errors by the pitcher on pickoff attempts. O'Hara skies this one to left, shallow left. That's going to be called by the shortstop. And Carroll's there to get the second out of the inning.
The first baseman, number 32, Nick Foxon.
Nick Foxon can now try and tie that RBI contest back up. He trails by 1. Tuffs is up 5. They've got a runner on second with 2 out. Foxon has grounded out and lined out both times to third base. Takes ball 1 high. Of course, it was the line out in the third by Foxon, followed up by a throwing error by Palekar, the third baseman, brought in a run. Doesn't count for an RBI, but doesn't happen if he doesn't put the ball in play. So some nominal credit there.
2-0 count for Foxon. It's a power count, hitters count. So let's see if he's looking to drive a ball here.
Taken high. He looked disappointed when he had to take that one. The wind has died down for just a split second. You could almost imagine he noticed that, and the wind's picked right back up. He had a 1-pitch window of opportunity to maybe launch one. 3-0 pitch now. It's taken for strike 1. Three-one pitch on the way. Taken for strike 2. Borderline call on the outside part of the plate. Days on deck. Santos Ocampo in the hole. Full count now. 2 outs and a runner on second. That one's low. Ball 4. So Fox Day will come up for the third time. He's the 8th batter in the inning. In the second, he walked and came around to score on the throwing error when Waters attempted to pick off Santos Ocampo. He singled to short in the third and was stranded there. This has been an extended 4th inning for Tuffs. Ryan Day can extend it. Takes strike 1, and Waters sure is throwing a lot. There's some action in the Middlebury bullpen. It's impossible from our standpoint to identify a name or a number. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, grounded to short, over to second for the, well, I would want to say easy, but didn't make it look easy. Put out, and that'll end the inning. So that'll be 3 runs in the inning on just 1 hit. Comedy of errors, 3 errors in the inning, and 2 left on base. And so through 4 innings, 6-1 lead for Tuffs, getting some measure of revenge so far for the shutout in Game 1.
Definitely so. Yeah, and like you mentioned, you know, pretty rare to not see Tufts put up a bunch of runs in a ball game. Not many shutouts they've faced, you know, been held to this season. So,
well, one little quirk of the scoreboard that you might be taking a look at is Tufts has scored in consecutive 1, 2, and 3 runs. I sure hope that trend continues. That would make my afternoon. Another tweet that came in also from Rich Birnbaum wants to hear me discuss my Bernie. What are your best and worst moments in your Tufts JumboCast career? Well, I think it's actually kind of easy for me to identify the worst. It was my sophomore year. We were covering NESCAC quarterfinal basketball games, and previously JumboCast had been kind of on the rocks with the athletics department. But my sophomore year, we revamped. We made a lot of promises. We increased our quality, and I'll get back to the game. You know, batter stepping in right now. First pitch, sky to right. Cooch is going back into foul territory, and he makes the catch. 1 away.
Nice play there by Cooch. Ball was slicing away from him, and he just stuck with it. Almost ran into the fence there.
Yeah, I'm almost certain you weren't able to see that on your screen because we couldn't really see it in real life. But adventurous fly out. So that'll bring us to the top of the order. Rizzo's at bat. Struck out in the first, grounded to short in the third. One 0 pitch taken for strike 1. So yeah, that's at Cousins. It was our first playoff action basically since we'd come back into the good graces of the athletics department, and we're very excited, and we got our stream going. This one golfed in our general direction. Foxon has a play, and he makes the catch on the fly. 2 away, 2 balls hit right of the foul line. And quick inning working right now for Superco.
Yeah, and Superco's been extremely efficient since that first inning. We both had commented on how, he's struggling with command a little bit in that first inning, but he's definitely made his adjustments.
Carroll lines first pitch into right. Another opportunity for Cooch, and he makes the catch. So very quick inning. 1, 2, 3 for Superco. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base, and I can get back to my story. So that's at Cousins. Basically, are not exactly sure what the problem was, but the stream wouldn't start. We couldn't get video. We couldn't get audio. We tried all kinds of different things. We were just scrambling throughout the entire first half, and eventually we canceled the stream. We set up a new stream. It was a total mess. And eventually by I think late in the second quarter, we might have gotten something, a stream up, and fortunately or unfortunately, Tuffs was getting blown out by Amherst in the game, and so not a whole lot of people were upset that they were missing it. But we didn't know what our fate was going to be. on a short leash, and you know, this was a pretty big screw up. Not necessarily our fault, but clearly we survived. The next week we got there hours early, made sure everything was up and running, and well, here we are years later, and we've been regularly covering NCAA basketball games without a problem. We're here now. I don't know the exact total, but on this school year, we've done about 70 broadcasts total, something like that.
Wow. Well, that's why you're the GM, Bert, because you know how to find a way to get it done. Before you tell us about your best story at JumboCast, as I'm sure you've had a ton, you've got a pitching substitution. A freshman, number 16, Andrew Martinson, is coming into the game for Middlebury. 6'5", 215 from Evanston, Illinois.
Martinson comes in with a 4.95 ERA across 20 innings of work. He's started 3 games, 1-2 record. Most impressively, I think, from his line, he's got a 7.2 K per 9, so he can get batters out. And Santos Ocampo will be the first one up to face him. Santos Ocampo shows bunt, but he couldn't have reached that one if he wanted to. That's low and away. Ball 1. Santos Ocampo singled to right in the second. Stranded at third. Flew out to right in the third. The only batter not to bat in the fourth. That's bounced. And Middlebury pitchers in a very, I'm not sure what the words I'm looking for. They're getting the ball dirty. Lots of balls grounded before the plate.
Definitely.
2-0 now. Strike 1. I'm not sure if that's a strategy. Get some particulate on the ball, make it spin a little more aggressively. Not sure that's the best way to go.
No. Well, I mean, they just need to throw strikes right now, being down 6-1.
That one's lined to right. Should be right there, and it is. 1 away. Elgarten with a second put out against Ocampo. That'll bring up McLaughlin. McLaughlin struck out looking in the second. Singled to left in the fourth, came around to score. He was a beneficiary of a couple of different errors. Foul tip, strike 1. McLaughlin now up with nobody on. First time that's been the case today. Big swing and a miss on some kind of a sinker.
It's a good pitch there by Martinson.
Of course, when I said all day, I was referring just to game 2.
Okay.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Taken. That's a tough take. Outside. Would have gotten me. That's for sure. That was always my problem in Little League. On the 2 strike counts, 0-2, I got to think he went on that. And he sits down. It's a delayed strikeout for McLaughlin. Yeah, back in Little League, 2 strike counts I was always taught to protect, and I could tell high and low pretty well, but the ball came in belt high, but far outside. You got to think I was swinging at that.
Yeah, hitting is definitely not easy. It's you got a lot of plate to cover.
Here comes the senior Oscar Cooch. Takes strike 1. 0 for 1 on the day. Grounded out to first in the second. Reach on an error in the fourth. Got to second on an error. And eventually scored on a pass ball. Well, this time it's grounded over to second. On to first, and a 1-2-3 inning for the new pitcher. So for the Jumbos, no runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base. And I didn't get that 4-run spot I was hoping for. But what is notable to my life, as was pointed out to me, is what we've got on the scoreboard now, 0-1-2-3-0, and that's Great Barrington, home of the Union for Reform Judaism, Joseph Eisner Camp Institute for Living Judaism, where I've spent many a summer.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm sure that was a great experience.
Summer camp sure was.
Yeah.
Sure was. This is actually going to be the first summer I'm not, really in touch with camp that much, but actually don't even know it. A job for me. So one of you viewers at home, you just let me know. It's find me bernie.birnbaum@tufts.edu.
Definitely.
But,
hello to our fans back at home.
Some of the better memories I've had at Tufts JumboCast, I think, my favorite team to cover, and I know we're probably talking to a lot of baseball fans here, but favorite team to cover has been the women's basketball team, and some of those playoff games we've gotten to cover their deep NCAA runs, and I don't know if I've had a lot of great memories, but the later a couple weeks after that worst memory, we had the Elite Eight game where Tufts got a rematch against the team that had knocked them out in the Final Four the previous year.
Yeah.
We're back underway, top of the sixth, as Superco keeps stealing. We've got designated hitter Locke up to bat. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Swings on the 0-1 pitch, gets it through the hole on the left side for a single.
And that's first hit Superco's given up in a few innings, but yeah, Superco's definitely settled in. Figured out his command, figured out his routine. He's pitching exceptionally well this game.
So Sam Graff will come up now. He's 0 for 2 with a fly out to center and a ground out to third. Swing and a miss at the first pitch, and I haven't been watching closely enough to know if that's his usual way to attack the ball, but it seemed like he took a extra little step forward kind of awkwardly on that swing. Might have been fooled. Superco checks the runner. Yeah, really kind of tough to identify a specific best moment in the career, Swung on a missed 0-2 now to Graff. I think, just this week, the JumboCast seniors were invited to attend the Athletics Seniors and Captains Luncheon. It's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled off his knee. And that was a pretty big honor for me.
Yeah.
I think last year was the first year that JumboCast was invited in that way, and it shows the respect that the athletics department has for what we contribute, and it really made me feel appreciated, And we have the 0-2 pitch, swung on, bounced foul. Not quite a clean play by the third base coach. He already had one fielding adventure earlier, more successfully. I will say we actually, there's one other active senior. We had 3 this year, but one of them, Ravi Chinsky, actually graduated in the fall, so he's not here. 0-2 pitch now. Again, this one flied. That's going to be in foul territory for Cooch. Can he get there? It's into the bullpen. And I don't know what happened over there. I think he caught it. He caught it. There we go.
And that's one out.
Oscar Cooch getting very familiar with foul territory.
But Bernie, as you were saying, being invited to that senior athletes banquet, that's a huge honor, like you said. And for those people that can't come to see these games live, our goal is to give them the best experience possible.
First pitch taken inside for ball 1 to Han. Han 1 for 2 with a ground out to third in the second, a double in the fourth, where he's caught stealing. 1-0 pitch taken for ball 2. Well, what I was going to say is that we actually, so Matt Maisie Phelps, who's the other graduating senior, and we arrived a little bit late, and we actually entered Cousins Gymnasium just as the athletics director, Morris, was mentioning JumboCast as Han fouls it off, and
You guys kind of walked in like, oh, hey.
we stepped in, and yeah, he said, you know, he was thinking all the various parts of the community that aren't, you know, the athletes, but, you know, are nonetheless contributing. And a 2-1 off-speed pitch taken outside. And, yeah, it was Matt and I. Not if you've ever been to Cousins, you know how you walk in and there's a staircase on either side.
Yeah.
And everybody was sort of facing us, and we're just like, hey, we're here. 3-1 pitch now. Popped high. It's going to be out of play over our heads. But, you know, that was definitely a sort of an off-the-field moment. And full count now. Walk the runner at first. 1 out. Spurko deals. Swung on. That's driven into the outfield. Coming on strong and making a diving play. No catch, though. And a wacky play. Let's break this down for you. So Santos Ocampo came in from center, made a diving play, fielded it on a bounce. The runner, Locke, was caught up trying to get the signal from the umpire as to whether it was caught or not. Once he did, he scampered to second. Santos Ocampo couldn't get the tag, and the runners are safe.
Yeah. Santos Ocampo might have actually had time to get up and make a better throw, maybe even get to a knee, but, you know, in the moment he's trying to scramble, make that play. Decent job by Varinos at second to try to place that tag, but was not able to make the play.
So that'll bring up Woodring. Woodring is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to short. He's got first and second now with 1 out. Big swing and a miss under the pitch. He has an opportunity now to cut into the deficit for Middlebury. One pitch. That's taken for a strike. Woodring thought about it. That's line caught by the shortstop Shackelford over to Varinos for a 6-4 play. And Varinos gets out of the inning unscathed. So on the inning, 2 hits and no runs, 1 left on base. And this is going to be, in all likelihood, the last at-bat for Tuffs here at Huskins Field for the seniors. We've got 8-9-1 due up. No seniors in that lot between Frickman, Shackelford, and Varinos. So it'll be on them to give the ones that are honored today another at-bat. Got another tweet, this one from Bridgie Bell, who I assume is a Tufts volleyball player and play-by-play commentator from Game 1, Bridget
Yes,
Bell.
Bridget.
She says, shout out to Bernie B for dedicating more time to Tufts athletics in the past 4 years than most of us varsity athletes do.
Attention, please, now.
That's
Thank you,
an awesome
Bridget.
compliment, Bridget.
We've had a joke. I think we've phased it out a little bit. Back when Jake Hellman was the GM and we were due, especially for some of these NCAA games, we'd joke that we spend more time. I forget exactly what we said. Some of those games, we say, "Oh, we work harder than the athletes." Well, I don't think on the whole that's true, and I don't want to take credit like that. You know, for on a day-to-day basis, you know, athletes are going to practice every day. We're not, frankly.
Yeah.
But on some of those games, especially, you know, NCAAs, when we have been, you know, at Cousins Gym as many as, you know, 3 hours before tip-off just to get that place ready to get all our different camera angles and all that. You know, today was here about 80, 90 minutes before game time. So maybe a bit exaggerated, but I appreciate it nonetheless. I believe we have a new pitcher again after a clean inning pitched by number 16, whose name I'm forgetting. Martinson pitched. That's right. Martinson pitched the clean inning previously, and now we've got Jake Stalcup, the senior pitcher. He's coming in with a 6.10 ERA over 10 1/3 innings. He's got a 1-3 record with 2 saves as well.
And bottom 6 for the Jumbos, looking to extend that lead even further, as they only need 3 more outs to win game 2.
First pitch taken by Frickman, low. The love affair between Middlebury pitchers and the dirt continues. One-0 pitch, grounded. Came up and hit Frickman in the wrist on a bounce.
We've got senior relief pitcher Rory Zomek warming up in the Jumbos bullpen.
That's ball 2, one of the wackier looking pitches we've seen this afternoon. Definitely off speed, some kind of curve on it. 2-1 pitch now. High ball 3. We'll say I definitely appreciate the speed with which Stalcup is working. It's, I believe, kind of a long ride back to Vermont, so we want to get there before dinner time. 3-1 pitch, taken strike 2. That looked pretty straightforward. Frickman was taken the whole way. Could have been one to hit.
Again, just, yeah, these Tuffs hitters overall are just very patient, so.
Fouled it off. Frickman will await the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Here's 3-2. Grounded, down to short, cross to first. Easy put out. 1 away.
The shortstop, number 1.
Middlebury infield has been a little bit of an adventure in game 2.
Definitely not as consistent fielding-wise.
Carroll fielded that one just fine, however, and that brings up Shackelford. Shackelford 0 for 1 in the day, flew out to third, flew out to to center in the 3rd. Walked and reached second on a pass ball in the 4th. He took strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch, low, ball 1. Elias Varinos waits on deck at the top of the order. He'll be followed, if possible, by O'Hara, Fox, and Day. 1-1 pitch taken in the dirt. Two-one pitch, swung on, in the air, right center field. Center fielder eventually calls off his right fielder and makes a play. Rizzo and Elgarten were both arriving there at about the same time, and I think Elgarten had to yield a little sooner than he did for center field, but no harm, no foul.
Yeah, I mean, that's a center fielder's ball all the way. Center fielder pretty much makes the decisions in the outfield. He has priority, so he called him off, and as you saw, right fielder slid maybe to get out of the way or to try to make the play. Who knows?
Well, it's good to have backup. Here's Varinos, hit by the very first pitch. He'll go down to first. Took it in the upper arm. Also took a little bit of the uniform.
The third baseman, number 24, Tommy O'Hara.
I'll bring up Tommy O'Hara. O'Hara, the junior third baseman. He's 1 for 3 on the day, but what a big one that was. It was an RBI double. Brought home a go-ahead run. Current game-winning run as it stands. Takes strike one. Batting now with a man on first. That's Varinos. 2 out in the bottom of the 6th. The 7-inning game, it's the last chance on offense for Tuffs, assuming no comeback is made. And so O'Hara puts this one high in the air to center. Goes there. Under it, makes the catch, and the inning's over. So for the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors. Varinos left on base. We're going to head to the top of the 7th. Just 3 more outs left for the Tuff seniors here at Huskins. In my JumboCast career, shouldn't be too difficult to protect a 5-1 lead and to do the work. We're going to have a new pitcher. That's going to be number 27, and that's going to be Rory Zomek. Fairly fitting. Zomek is a senior himself. He's got 1 win and 2 saves over 17 innings. He's been dealing with a 1.06 ERA, 13.24 K per 9.
Yeah.
Great numbers for him. And he was actually a guest on JumboCast not so long ago in, I think it was either late March or early April when we were covering some of the women's basketball playoff action. He came on as a guest during halftime. He's a writer for Nothing But NESCAC, a sports blog dealing with NESCAC sports, and so we had him on. And nice to have a friend of the program.
Definitely.
out on the pitcher's mound.
He's also considered a Tufts basketball super fan, so great to, like you said, great to have that connection.
7-8-9 due up for Middlebury in the top of the 7th. Middlebury has managed 5 hits so far in this game. That's 2 more than they had in game 1, but they've translated it into 3 fewer runs.
Just wanted to quickly shout out Sid Warrenbrand, vital member of this Tufts baseball team. He's been battling an injury this season, a hip injury, but he's rehabbing every day, and he's looking to get back. So hello, Sid. How are you? Good to see you.
Sid happens to be directly to our right up here in the press box. There's no doubt one of the reasons he deserving of the shout out just now.
Leading off Middlebury in the top of the 7th inning, the third baseman, number 24, Raj.
This is really the last chance for Middlebury to get it going. Got to take it pitch by pitch, at bat by at bat, and just don't try to do too much. You know, just get the next guy on.
Zomek, of course, if you've watched games, his first pitch comes outside for ball 1. You'll notice his interesting timing mechanism he's got, where he takes a bit of a step, resets, and then deals. And there you go. He got the step and the deal. It's strike 1. 1-1 count now to Palekar.
Yeah, you know, based on that point, both Zomek and Varinos, they both solely pitch from the stretch, and so this looks like a way for Zomek to just get locked in, get ready to fire some strikes in.
Well, the 1-1 pitch tailed outside. So 2-1 on the way. That one escapes the reach of Frickman. Back to the backstop, 3-1, and Zomek's fallen behind his first batter. Palekar is 2 for 2 on the day. A pair of singles to left. In the second, he tried to stretch that single into a double. He was unsuccessful. Takes ball 4 here. So base runner on, and the Panthers will need a lot of those.
Each year, Tufts Athletics does a sort of a superlative award, and one of Tufts baseball's players is featured in the award for best couple. His name's Nick Faulkson, and his girlfriend Mary Kate Patton is in the building supporting him today. Hopefully, Nick can win that superlative.
So these are the kinds of little tidbits that I was hoping we'd get. You know, this is the, among of course the great commentary and everything else, is the value that Seabass really adds to the broadcast team. We've got Elgarten up right now. He took ball 1. Elgarten 0 for 1 in the day, reached on an error and scored in the third, and then struck out in the fourth. Taken all the way, ball 2. And that's going to lead to a little conversation at the mound. We've got Coach Casey out there. And Faulkson's joining. And the sun has come out. And a beauty. And that's going to be it for Zomek being pulled in the middle of the at-bat, having faced one batter and walked him behind the count 2-0. And jogging in from second is Elias Farinos, and then replacing him at second base is going to be Tom Petrie. So a very interesting, and now Elias Farinos is going to get a different glove now that he's out at the mound. So we're going to make note of all of this in my scorecard if it doesn't completely blow away. Now, maybe you'd know this better than I. This is not the first time we've seen a pitcher get pulled in the middle of an at-bat, but I know that's not something that's typically allowed in the major leagues. Do you know what the rule is with that here in D3?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I feel like you can really pull a player whenever you want to. But I think just in terms of pitchers staying in a groove, most GMs will allow their pitchers, to battle through at bats. But no, it's definitely been done before. Definitely have seen that.
Another thing that I doubt it'll come up, but when you take pitcher out of the game, replace him with a position player, now where does Petrie go in the lineup? Is Day still the designated hitter for Petrie?
Well,
I mean, I guess that's something that isn't necessarily set in stone yet. I think, like I said, probably won't come up, but it's a little quirk. Where would we have Day batting for a second baseman?
Mm-hmm.
You come to ball games because you never know when you're going to see something you've never seen before. That would certainly qualify.
But I think what would happen is because now Varinos is now the pitcher, I believe that Day would just hit for Varinos' spot, or maybe in
So Petrie would take over at leadoff?
Honestly, I'm not sure about that. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say that's true because I don't know.
It's all purely hypothetical unless Middlebury pushes 5 across here. And Elgarten still at bat. Varinos having not thrown a pitch, behind in the count, 2-0. And an all-important first pitch strike. Gets one back, 2-1. I'm not exactly sure what's so funny, but our technical crew is cracking up. This one's grounded to O'Hara at third. Makes the turn at second, double play. Varinos helps work out of a jam. So O'Hara to what was that, Petrie coming in to make the turn, and then Faulkson.
The catcher, number 10, Phil Bernstein.
So Phil Bernstein comes up. Fellow Bernie out there is the last hope for Middlebury.
Verino on the mound. Great job getting that double play.
First pitch low. Bernstein 1 for 2 on the day. Singled to left in the third. Was stranded at third eventually. And he flew out to right in the fifth. Number 9 batter, so if he can reach, that would bring up the top of the order. Bernstein takes ball 2.
Come on, Eli.
2-0 pitch. That's taken low, and Verinos is behind. 3-0 on the opposing catcher. And that's taken away. 4-pitch walk to Bernstein. So the day's not over yet.
Jumbo's only 1 out away from solidifying this Game 2 W.
So Rizzo will be up for the 4th time. He's 0 for 3. Strikeout, ground out to short, a fly out to third. It wasn't a fly out, there was that sort of foul liner, exciting play type thing to third. First pitch strike by Verinos. He's ahead of the batter. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on. Ball was basically in the dirt. Rizzo not trying to go down without a fight, but he's behind 0-2. So a chance here for Verinos to end it. Verinos started the afternoon. It was a different Verinos, though. Here's Elias now, 0-2 pitch, taken outside. Verinos looks in for the sign, takes a look at the runner, not too worried, 1-2 pitch. Swung on, into center field, Santos Ocampo is not going to get there. Rizzo is digging for second, he takes a big turn, goes back to first. Meanwhile, Bernstein's moved over to third and the ball game continues. Just a very clean single up the middle. Runners at the corners now, 2 out. Carroll's at the plate. Still not a whole lot of danger. You know, the tying run is in the hole, so a lot of room for Verinos to work with, only needing 1 out. First pitch to Carroll. Takes a look at strike 1. That one straighter and truer than a lot of pitches we've seen. Oh, 1 pitch on the way. The runners take their leads. Low. Ball 1. One pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2.
Big pitch there.
So, second time Verinos has the Middlebury Panthers down to their last strike. 1-2 pitch. Taken, strike 3, and the ball game is over. Tuffs wins game 2 6-1 in 7 innings. Carroll goes down looking to end it, and the Jumbos have themselves a win to end the regular season.
Yes, sir. And that puts them at 10-4 in NESCAC play. So
Well, I'm not sure the NESCAC West games properly count towards that total, but we got the final stat lines for the visiting Middlebury Panthers: 1 run on 6 hits, committing 5 errors. For Tuffs, 6 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors. And these teams will potentially face each other again next week and at some point in the NESCAC championship. You know, they're both the pennant winners from the East and the West, respectively. So
yep.
they very well could be seeing each other again. And yeah, so that'll do it. You know, for the afternoon, for the regular season, for the school year.
Yeah.
For my Tufts JumboCast career. And
well, Bernie, you've had an exceptional career, and you're definitely going to be missed. Hopefully, we can continue your legacy and keep JumboCast the trajectory continue. You know, hopefully that'll continue to rise.
Yeah, I mean, very well might be doing some training, some off the field type work in the next week before graduation, but just wanted to take the moment here, the last time on the headset, to thank everybody that's really made this possible. In terms of JumboCast, I found out about it my freshman year when the club was really not much of anything at all, and I was taking a perspectives class, one of these pass-fail classes freshmen take about sports movies was the class, and
Wow.
one of my instructors, Eliza Halmo, was on the board at the time, and she let us know that it existed, and thanks to her I joined, and then I want to give a shout out to Michael Roubaix, who was the GM at the time, and then Jake Hellman, who followed that up with 2 years of basically reviving the club, and I had quite a bit to do with that as well. Also want to thank the athletics department at Tuffs for giving us the chance, and I've developed relationships with a lot of the guys here, especially Matt Malone and Paul Sweeney, who are actually both in the press box behind us right now, so I know they're not listening, but I want to give them the credit where it's due. And looking ahead, we've got the new board coming in. Alec Whipple, he's directing this game. He's going to be replacing me at general manager, and Owen, who's been on the camera. They're the two newest leaders in JumboCast, and just more broadly speaking, want to thank my parents for, a great 22 years, almost. Making it possible for me to be here at Tuffs, and supporting me when I wasn't really sure what my Tuffs experience was going to be like, and enjoying in it now that it turned out that I found this place in JumboCast to really have a good time and do what I loved, and to all my friends and family that have been my friends and family, and hope maybe tuning in right now, who can say. It's been quite the run, and leaving JumboCast is probably going to be one of the hardest things about leaving Tuffs. There's not a whole lot of other opportunities in the world where you can enjoy sports and go and talk about them and support. It's not just that I got to talk about sports, but these are my classmates. I'm friends with a lot of them. These are we're all basically a part of the community, and what I've seen as sort of like my hope, like at the end of the day for JumboCast, is that what we're here to do is give our classmates the respect they deserve for the effort that they put in, and put together a broadcast that sort of is commensurate with that, so who knows? Maybe this is not the last time I'll be on a headset, but definitely it's gonna be sad to go nonetheless.
Yeah, well, it's definitely been an honor working with you, and this is I've just recently joined JumboCast this year, but
we got to get you that polo still.
Yeah.
I have it in my room. I was gonna bring it. Still owe you. We'll get you. Not to worry.
Just everyone in the club, including yourself, has really made me feel at home, given me the mutual respect that I deserve, even though I've only been in the club for a short time. So definitely thank you and appreciate that.
And on that note, if you're watching and you're going to be a Tufts student next year, whether why not give it a shot? Like Sebastian said, it's so easy to get involved, and I think most folks have a great time. And if you don't have a great time, you're under no obligation to stay.
But it's definitely a blast. It's a great time. So,
but I think I've about done enough talking for 4 years. So with that, we'll sign off. Jumbo's 6-1 victors in Game 2 of the doubleheader after dropping Game 1 4-0. On behalf of Sebastian Gonzalez Johnson, Bernie Birnbaum signing off.
thank you for listening and enjoy the rest of your weekend.